Hey, it's October the 23rd, Sunday. This is my third video of the day. We're looking at yen pairs. So, it had to happen, didn't it? The Ministry of Finance were warning all week that they were going to do it. And actually, they picked a really good time. Friday evening, I think Asia had even closed. Europe was closing or getting close to closing. So, you know, volumes were probably quite thin. A lot of market participants not involved. Probably a really good time. And actually, with the Fed were making some soft, I'm going to call it a soft pivot noise, indicating that maybe the pace of rate rises in the US would slow. So we'd still see rate rises, but we'd only be seeing half percentage points rather than 75 basis points. That happened, I think, just before the Ministry of Finance intervened, and it was very successful indeed. Look at this big red candle, taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So taking out the week's gains and half of the previous week's gains as well. You can't mess with the Ministry of Finance. It had to happen, and they certainly picked their moment extremely well. So you can see that where I've got some fib support levels, that we hit the trend line and bounced. So anyway, look, the levels are on the report, but that is what the chart looks like. And I would imagine, look, the last time we had intervention, the market kind of went into shock, volume dried up, and we just cruise sideways in very narrow ranges for a little while. I think that we'll probably trade sideways, and there could be some good scalping opportunities from the levels that I put in the reports. Actually, they're quite wide. They are sort of 50. Are they 50 pip scalping levels? Let me just have a look at what I've written. Yeah, they're sort of 50 pip, 60 pip potential scalping opportunities. So, you know, risk 20 to make 50 or even 60 seems worth it to me. Could be a nice scalping opportunity. I don't normally like sideways trending markets, but I've got a feeling we could turn this one to our advantage. Same for the euro yen, obviously big red candle. Good. We held some support down here anyway. We had been in such a sideways trend now, so we tested the upper range of that sideways trend, having broken above it and didn't get back into it, bounced off it. So indicates to me that the bull trend is still intact. But again, I think we've probably got some sideways action coming. But now that if I'm right, then we can capitalize on it and we can trade the levels in the report. The other one I want to look at, well, the New Zealand dollar versus Japanese yen isn't making any sense at all. So I'm not going to bother showing you that chart. Aussie yen, the levels have been a little bit better. But again, mostly sideways. Could we be building a head and shoulders pattern? We could. Either this could be the left shoulder or this could be the big left shoulder. So we'll have to see how far this bounce back comes over the next couple of weeks. But obviously with the Ministry of Finance having intervened before we got anywhere near the previous high for the Aussie versus the yen, maybe we will build that left shoulder. But for now, I'm leaving this alone. There's just not, I'm going to have to wait for the pattern to develop. So that's it for the yen pairs for me. I'll get on and have a look at the US stock market. So keep an eye out for that video, and please do like, share and subscribe this one.